Another dollar.
Easy breezy.
Another
Beautiful.
dollar, my friend.
I can smell it. Smell that green.
We're doing really good.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. The podcast is doing really good. I just want that to be like the first thing that was said. That's said. We have.
And the only reason that's happening is because of you people. So thank you.
Yeah. I mean, our last episode was a hit. You guys seem to have liked nature and technology and cute animals, and yeah, we couldn't be more grateful for the interactions that you guys are giving us. We are at 105 Spotify listeners. This is great, guys. Make sure you check out the YouTube. Make sure you check out the merch. You know, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's actually
being updated.
It's actually kind of fun because like I shot podcast yesterday, shooting one now, off tomorrow for my birthday, and then we're back Sunday for another one. So lots of things.
82.
Lots of things going on, man. Yep, lots of things going on. I'm having a good time. But today it's episode 34. We're doing Nintendo. Before we,
Nintendo.
I do have some news here.
Okay.
OpenAI Sam Altman urges AI regulation in Senate hearing. The tone of congressional hearings featuring tech industry executives in recent years can be best described as antagonistic. We have Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and other tech luminaries have all been dressed down on Capitol Hill by lawmakers upset with their companies. But on Tuesday, Sean Altman, the chief executive of San Francisco startup OpenAI, he testified before the Senate subcommittee, and they largely agreed with them on the need to regulate the increasing powerful AI technology being created inside his company and others like Google and Microsoft. In the first testimony before Congress, Altman implored lawmakers to regulate artificial intelligence as members of the committee displayed a budding understanding of the technology. The hearing underscored the deep unease felt by technologists and government over AI's potential harms, but that unease did not extend to Mr. Altman, who had a friendly audience in the members of the subcommittee. Sounds like they had a really good conversation about the rights and wrongs of the power of AI, and I think that's important to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Altman's a 38.
It constantly needs to be talked about.
Yeah, so Altman, a 38-year-old Stanford University dropout and tech entrepreneur, was his christening as the leading figure in AI. The boyish look of Mr. Altman traded in his usual pullover sweater and jeans for a blue suit and tie for the 3-hour hearing. He also talked about his company's technology at a dinner with dozens of House members on Monday night and met privately with a number of senators before the hearing. According to people who attended the dinner and the meetings, he offered a loose framework to manage what happens next with the fast-developing systems that some believe could fundamentally change the economy. I think if this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong, and we want to be vocal about that, Altman said. We want to work with the government to prevent that from happening. And just another major advance in artificial intelligence right now.
It's just not going away, is it? It just won't go away.
It probably won't. And,
I don't think it is either.
I'm not mad
Not
at
at
it.
this point.
I mean, regulation does need to happen because there is. I mean, we're going to get to a point where. I mean, the music thing. I've been really thinking about this. There was a band that just got caught this week lip syncing, and they were using an AI technology, like where they were using backtrackings and lip syncing and lip syncing. They were caught. They were using an AI technology to help them sound as if they were live, but it was evident that the drummer and the guitar players were not in sync and all that stuff. So yeah,
Sounds like a Milli Vanilli situation.
Yeah.
It happened back in the 80s.
Yeah, I remember that, and so it kind of happened again, but then it comes to a point why are you using AI to cheat? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different outlets for AI. Even me and you, we use AI for so many different things. Like, I had a conversation with Frenchie the other day. She was asking me about ChatGPT and how it works and stuff like that, and we got into the conversations that I use it more on a production standpoint to help me revise my edits and things like that. And she brought up the conversation that we've spoken about college students using it to write whole essays and all these things. There was even an apology from a basketball player.
Really? Oh God. What's this on?
Okay, here we go. So the Jay Moran, a basketball player, was caught doing bad things, and he issued an apology.
Bad. It's bad.
But he put the apology. Oh man, like the apology was so basic, and that
did he use the ChatGPT to write an apology?
He used the ChatGPT, and they found out because someone used it like a basic format, and the exact word for word came out.
God.
Can I tell you how I use ChatGPT?
Yes.
Let's
tell the folks how we use it.
I'll write down a whole paragraph of, let's say, an episode of Tam, right? Describe what the episode is. Am I confident in my writing? Yes, I am. But there's always more room to make it sound more professional, to make it sound more better. And fine tune it. So I use it to fine tune. I write down an actual original description that I write myself, and I ask the GPT, what is...
You had the sculpture, you're just asking for it to trim a little, show a little more definition.
Trim the fat. What should I take out? What should I... I usually ask it, are there things that I should take out of this? What's important? What's not? And, a lot of people don't have access or money to go to an editor or have the time to go to a teacher. So I feel like the ChatGPT is a great tool for these things, but not for issuing apologies half-assed. AI is here to help you.
Yeah.
And today,
not cover your ass.
Yeah. Today
it's
we're
help you, not cover your ass.
Today we are doing Nintendo. Talk to me about your earliest
history, man.
Talk to me about
earliest.
Well, did you know that Nintendo started off as a trading card company?
What was it called? Cura? Like playing cards. So, what was the actual playing card it actually started off with? So, if y'all don't know, this company actually started way back in the 1800s.
Yep.
Like, 1883, something like that?
Yep.
And then it went through a whole different setup back then. It was farming, agriculture, and they were... God, what were they into at first? I was reading it, and then I closed out of it. It's some interesting stuff. The main got it into the video game era was in the 70s when it went in co-op with this other company to start. What did I say it was? John, the Magnavox Odyssey.
Magnavox.
Yeah, which I didn't know existed. I had to look that up before we got on here. That's some interesting stuff. I did not know. I always thought Atari or a Commodore was the first video game systems. I never knew that there was one before that. And as early as 1971, when Nintendo started investing.
Oh, I'm actually seeing here. So the actual date that the company was founded was September 23rd, 1889.
89, okay.
89 in Kyoto.
Still, that's crazy.
Yeah, it started as a trading card company called Nintendo Kapai.
Kapai.
Yeah, but they produced
handmade.
It
went
playing
into
cards.
Food products at some point.
They did. I saw that. I saw the cereal thing that you showed me too. But it also says here that in the 60s they ventured into various business sectors, including love hotels, taxi services, and like you said,
I missed that part.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know that. And even like you said, a food company. However, it was in the 1970s when
Yep.
Nintendo made its foray into the electronic gaming industry. As you were just saying, they released the first arcade game, Computer Othello, in 1978, which marked their initial steps towards becoming a gaming powerhouse. Now, and then you know the rest. 1983, they came out with the NES. Games like Super Mario and Legend of Zelda came out, and then they started coming out with the Game Boy, the Advance, the Nintendo DS, the Nintendo 3DS, the Wii, the Wii U, the Switch OLED, and there's so much more to come. Shall we waste any more
I can
time?
keep up with them. Go ahead. You were gonna ask me though, what was like my first memory of?
Oh yeah,
Nintendo
what's your
or
what's your
something? Is that what
earliest
you were gonna ask?
Nintendo memory?
Christmas morning, I wake up. I don't even think I knew about Nintendos yet, or maybe I did, but not enough to like want one. But I got one for Christmas one year. I want to say I was like 8 or 10, and it was Mario. You get Mario and you get duck hunting with it, and I'm pretty sure I got hooked pretty quick with it. Like the games back then, I want to say they were like how much they are now, $50 or $60, but back then that was a lot more than what it is now. So your games had to last a little bit long. Games were different back then too, you know.
Oh yeah.
You bought the game and you played it. You didn't have any extra DLC or nothing like that. You just played your game and you beat it. But the difficulty too. I just remember hating so many games, but I'm still playing them like a heroin addict, you know.
Yeah.
I remember playing Super Mario 2, having at least 99 lives in my arsenal and spending them all right down to where I couldn't beat Ort. And I was so mad.
That's interesting.
You're telling me I had 100 guys and I still couldn't beat him.
Yeah, my earliest Nintendo experience was with the Game Boy. That was like my first Nintendo product I ever had. And I remember first getting one and opening that box and just thinking like, what is this? Like, this is magnificent. And it kind of like paved
Was
the
it the
way
colored
for like,
one or was it the green one?
it was the original gray one.
Okay.
I was happier than a fly in poop. You know what I mean? Like, and you'll see that too. And then let's go on to it. So the first one we have here is actually my first one. I did two of these in the same kind of theme. I wanted to. So actually, the prompt that I put here is leaked video game footage of a Nintendo Battle Royale game.
Ooh.
And look, Battle Royale is big right now. You got your Fortnites, your Warzones, your PUBGs, and things like that. I want a Nintendo Battle Royale. I think it would work.
Smash Brothers kind of their version of that?
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have that many characters, but that's kind of what that idea was.
Yeah, you know, and they have the battle, but you know, I would love to play as like Princess Toadstool or Waluigi in like a Fortnite style Battle Royale environment, you know?
I bet you they've already thought of this.
I bet you they have.
Of this. It should be. That's a market they're waiting to capitalize on, right?
Yeah, you see a lot of cat characters
awesome.
in here too.
Yeah. A lot of which you can actually tell what they're from. I see some guy in there. It kind of looks like Bison from Street Fighter to me.
I see him too.
You see him? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not crazy.
I
then.
see him. That was one of the first ones I saw. Let's check out the next one.
Bison wins.
Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda is hot right now, so let's talk about it. Go.
Yeah, and I watched your guys' last show, DD214, and it got me into thinking this. I didn't want to do too much of Zelda because I was thinking that's more of you and Frenchie's territory. I didn't want to step on it, but I wanted to do one. So I did one of Link.
No. There's a free-for-all, Strobridge.
It's a free-for-all.
I did the Legend of Zelda one too.
I know I was trying to do like a sci-fi. Do you have my command right there? What I threw in?
The classic Nintendo. I got you.
Oh, here I go. Never mind. I found it.
Are you sure? Because I got
Maybe
it
I
too.
didn't. I lied. Go ahead and tell him.
Oh, I don't have the full description. Hang on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I was trying to find
It
too.
says the classic Nintendo game brought to the a sci-fi.
Yep.
Let's see, I'm on your.
Yeah, I'm glowing
It
with that
says
too.
the classic
I went and
Nintendo
deleted all
game
the
brought to the
screen.
sci-fi realm. The Legend of Zelda reimagined as a space opera fantasy western. The hero Link has armor, a golden sword, and
That's
the
what it
legendary
was.
silver arrows. Watch as he fights Ganon. Beautiful.
It got most of it. I would have loved to have seen the silver arrow in there, but that was one of I only did like 1 or 2 pictures, and that came out pretty good for
The photo itself
instantaneous.
doesn't even look far off from what a Legend of Zelda
Oh, it doesn't stray at all.
caricature would be. You know what I mean? Like it looks correct.
Mm-hmm. I dig it. I like how it turned out.
So this is a continuation of my Battle Royale Nintendo game. This is what would the map look like if a Battle Royale game was made by Nintendo. And I think that this shows everything that you would need in a Battle Royale game. You got your hot drops, you got your waterways, you got your temples, you got your mountains, you got your snow. And you have like really cool like little battle areas that would really work for a Nintendo Battle Royale. I see you gazing.
I'm look. Wow.
You know, maybe you have Yoshi's Island over there, the castle of Hyrule. You know what I mean? Like points of
How
interest.
far are people off? How far off are like say 2 10-year-old kids like you, me and you, like 10-year-old versions of us meeting up and actually creating a game out of AI using Mid-Journey for their stuff like this,
We're not
and
far
then
off.
you creating their own music. No, I could see some kids.
Well, you know,
there's gonna be some
Nintendo
kids
would shut
making
us down
something.
immediately, so we
Mhm.
may even get shut down for this episode. They might strike us for this. But I love this. It has everything that you would want in a battle royale map if made by Nintendo. I think it came out really, really perfect. I'm
Mhm.
happy with it.
It's like an oil painting right there. I want that blown up and put on a wall.
I do too, actually. And the
That's the
next-
background for a while.
You gotta talk to me
I was
about
really
this
going
one.
for classic games because that's basically I'm not too familiar with all the new ones. You guys are helping me out with that with your DD214 show.
Mhm.
But this is a blast from the past from the first Nintendo system. This game was called Little Nemo the Dream Master. And you're basically this kid that went around in his nightmares and beat up monsters with his bat. And
Nice. I'm not familiar with
that was
this
the premise.
game. I'm not familiar
You'll
with
have to
this
look it up
game,
on
but
YouTube.
it does look. I mean, the artwork itself, it's very enticing.
This is what you would see on the cartridge, like the graphic. They always have like a picture on the graphic or on the cartridge itself. This is what you would see in the cartridge. It has nothing to do with the game, but how they blew everything up back then. I just dug that game a lot, and I wanted to see like a version of it. This was actually kind of silly. I thought it was silly so much that I liked it and wanted to put it on here. If you ever watch the YouTube videos on that game, you'll be like, okay, this really does have nothing to do with it. But back then, they used to make their cartridge stickers have nothing to do with the actual game a lot of the times.
Interesting. You ready for the next
And-
one?
Atari did that too. Atari had a better artist, I think. I think they had someone like Frank Frazetta do their cartridge covers. It was more like fantasy looking.
He
Yep.
always comes up on our show, Frank Frazetta. We love him.
Frank, what's your next one?
My Legend of Zelda. So, I think this one came out really good because growing up, I've always thought of Link to be androgynous. I've never really known if he was a boy or a girl, and I think keeping that in my mind made me enjoy the game more because I never really knew. Even I to be honest with you, I even to this day still question who Link really is. Not because of
Who Link is and who Zelda.
yeah, well, we know Zelda. A princess is a princess, you know. But when I think of Link, growing up, I always asked like, is Link a boy or a girl? And I never had an issue with it. I'd be happy either or. And I think that this render totally shows that. And
When I was playing the first Zelda game, I thought Zelda was the main character.
We all did. Even people to this day still think that Zelda is the main character. And I came up with some really good renders for this one. But I think the look of this particular photo and how Link looks is exactly how I would have pictured Link growing up. But the prompts I did use was Link from The Legend of Zelda wearing a Special Forces uniform with a Hyrule patch.
Okay.
You got the accents of the Hyrule, you know what I mean, and you got looks like he's got the sword behind or her, you never know, and the shield.
I get a feel of Mecha.
What do you mean Mecha?
I get a feel of like Mecha, like a little more tanked up version of him or her. Like their armors, like that shield's pretty thick, so I'm thinking they've got more of a people that make swords and stuff.
Blacksmiths, yeah.
Yeah. They're more of an industrious. This is more of an industrious version.
Yeah. I also would I would even throw in there that it would be really cool, Link could be anybody, right? You portray Link the way that you portray Link. I've always probably portrayed Link to be a woman, to be honest with you. I've always pictured that, and maybe there is some kind of beautiful love that's happening between this female Link and Zelda, and that's the story that I've actually always thought about. I think a lot of people would probably feel the same and thinking that growing up with Link. And I never questioned it either. Idea. Yeah, I never questioned it either. Next one.
What if they ever switch the dynamic around where in the game you're Zelda and you have to go actually rescue Link? Like he's
they've actually talked about that. We'll talk about that after the air. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I have something cool about that. But we have this one now. Talk to me about this one.
Yep. Another game that kind of went along with that little Nemo. I was into this like weird, nerdy, scary video game phase at one point, and this game was Maniac Mansion.
Maniac Mansion, nice.
Maniac Mansion, and that's another one you can go on YouTube and watch, and it's kind of cool. But you could be like, I want to say 5 or 6 different characters. You're pretty classic setup in most games like that. You have a nerd, a jock, you have a surfer dude or stoner kind of dude. The usual dynamics. And you go throughout this house, and you're trying to escape it. From this alien kind of family, these plaids. And I wanted to see like a Netflix version of that, but what it was giving me in Midjourney was more of a kind of a Nickelodeon kind of animated series, and I was like, ooh, I never thought of that, so that would be cool. So that's kind of what happened here was my prompt thingy. If I have it right here, no I don't. Oh. Forget it. Yeah, I was pretty sure I was going for a Netflix deal. Yeah, go for it. Oh, maybe I have it.
I got you, man. The Nintendo game Maniac Mansion as a Hulu series for streamers who love mystery stories. The characters are a surfer, a punk rock girl, and a hipster, and a heavy metal kid. The creepy mansion is home to strange alien-like beings who want to find their heroes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You ready for the next?
Oh, how that turned out.
Ah. I mean, this prompt is as simple as apple pie, okay?
Oh.
This prompt I put the return of the Game Boy. Okay? New Game Boy design. I wanted to stick with the original design, but with RGB lights on the side of the Game Boy. I wanted to have like a nice little modern feel to the Game Boy. RGB is big. Why don't we throw some RGB lights onto a handheld device?
Illuminated.
The Game Boy to me is the best handheld system in the world. It was easy to carry, it was easy to use, it was easy to package. And then when the pocket and the colors came out, you could put the Game Boy in your damn pocket. You could put it in your pocket. Who would have ever thought that you could put a console, a little itty bitty console, and put it in your pocket, carry it with you, get it taken from you at school. Don't do your chores. It's your mother's now.
Yeah.
You know. But I love how this came out. The photorealism just came out absolutely perfect, and I couldn't be more grateful for good old MJ doing the right thing here and showing off a beautiful, simple, yet modern and futuristic design to the Game Boy.
Touched it up. I like it. And normally I probably wouldn't buy something kind of pinkish, but I like that.
Yeah.
Almost like a
synthwave color to
effect. Yeah. Synthwave.
And the next.
Got all these extra options on the side too. I've seen those buttons and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the 80s, of course.
Back in the
80s. I wanted to see like if MJ could do a version of Double Dragon and have like the classic guys who are kind of fit that stereotype back then. I thought of Dolph Lundgren and Jean-Claude Van Damme. Jean-Claude! Sit in between trucks and do the splits.
Those actually came. It's actually interesting too that you chose Dolph Lundgren because he just came out with a post that he's fighting cancer again. So I mean, this would be a nice little tribute for him. It'd be nice to see this.
But, I didn't know he had it before.
Yeah, I would love to see a Double Dragon movie, and I think Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren would be the perfect people to. I know that's kind of heartbreaking, right? You know, but he's still standing strong. I mean, look at the guy is a towering, tree. The dude's a damn tree.
Okay. Yeah, I really want to see a version of this. It would be an awesome thing to see a remastered version of GoldenEye, which was originally on 64.
Yep, that's 64.
All right. That's another system I really like, but I never had it. It had Empire of something of the Empire.
Yeah, they came out with the port for Xbox and the Switch. The port's out right now. You could play it, but it's just the original game. It's not like a remake or a remaster. There's nothing different about it. Yeah, it's the game. Not that it's not special. Gotcha. It's still special,
Oh, I mean, it's still right.
Yeah, I think it's time we have a new one now,
Bring that back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some of the special prompts that I put in there that I can remember for sure is I could picture it being a series but done in rotoscope. Kind of like the movie Waking Life. Like an animation but still like moving in humanistic way. I don't know how to describe it. Just rotoscope.
Yeah, okay.
I'd love to see it being like that.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, and then now this is my last one.
Okay. Oh, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll play this.
So I actually got a couple of them that came out, but this one came out the best. The sequel for this one will come out someday, and you'll get to see what the other one of this. But this one, I wanted Super Mario as a soldier fighting the Koopas. HD cinematic still shot. So I wanted like a war between the Koopas and Super Mario. And it's funny because the other render that came in actually had him wearing Koopa armor. You know,
Really?
yeah, like the other rendition I had actually had him wearing like armor, like Koopa skin armor. It actually looked really dope, but I wanted to
Make
show.
sure you throw that on Linktree.
Yeah, I'll put that one on the gram, but this is the one that I want to show off with Super Mario with a basic style of, uniform, a basic uniform, and he's got the toads behind them fighting beside him. If you know, the toads are the most badass dudes over in the Mushroom Kingdom. Just saying.
Crazy, man. Don't mess with him.
And now, submissions. We got two
Pent
beautiful
up energy.
We got two beautiful submissions here from the great, the one, the only Frenchie.
Frenchie.
I mean, this one is self-explanatory. You know what this is, right, Strobridge?
Yep.
It's Paperboy.
That's Paperboy.
It's Paperboy. Paperboy was one of my favorite games. I played it for the first time on the Game Boy. I remember sitting.
Yeah, that in the arcade.
Yeah, they had it in the arcade too. You can actually get out the 1-Up arcade as well. It's part. I think it's part of. I forgot which arcade machine it's part of right now. But I would love to see like a Paperboy, a modern Paperboy game. It would really work, a Paperboy game. It would be fun. You don't need a story. You just need some good graphics and
Like a Grand Theft Auto version.
the Grand Theft Auto version. That'd be funny as hell. Put that in your 5M servers.
Take people's bikes.
But that'd be really cool. I would love. The picture looks really good. I like his. He's got the backpack. He's got the Paperboy colors. This works. And last,
Frenchie's always got interesting ideas.
she does.
She's always got some angle that I didn't think. I'm like, man, that's a good one. Paperboy. I'm like,
Oh, well, that's why I
That's
married
another
her.
classic.
She got a good brain.
that's right.
No, and that's why I especially love this last one right here that we have, the Hyrule Castle. Okay, I'm speechless looking at this one because the Hyrule Castle is one of the most important pieces of the lore of the Legend of Zelda. Man, this one came out really, really beautiful. I mean, it just shows like how it is. Hyrule Castle is on like the top of like a mountain type area. Beautiful
Classic.
ground, tall castles. You got the mountains in the back. It is beautiful.
This is something I would have seen on an old Nintendo Power magazine when I was a kid. I dig it.
Like it looks like it could be like the cover of like.
That's what
Nintendo
a lot of this
Power.
is
Yeah.
bringing up as my. The artwork back then was really cool. I mean, it's never stopped. The artwork's always been cool, but this is original stuff, like, where all the stuff came from. Good old Zelda and Mario.
The great
Were
stories.
those the two staples from Nintendo?
Yeah.
Was Zelda and Link? Was there any others that were basically Nintendo staples?
Kirby,
Metroid.
Metroid. Kirby, Star Fox.
Yep, Kirby. Metroid was another one.
Star Fox is another one.
Star Fox.
You know?
Yes.
Huge. I love Star Fox. I'm actually kind of excited for the Star Fox movie. I was actually going to do a Star Fox render, and I didn't get to it. Like I didn't get to the render. I felt like I got to some of the ones I had. I was like, okay, I'm happy with these, and I thought about doing Star Fox. I just didn't do it.
I totally forgot about Star Fox. It was for Super Nintendo originally, and then it probably went to other ones,
yeah.
but it was really for Super NES, wasn't it? Yeah.
The Nintendo nonetheless. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to episode 34 of The Artificial Mind, where all your dreams could come true in images. Next episode, we're doing we're doing The Simpsons next week. So you got any submissions,
Oh!
send them in. If you have any ideas, let us know. If you think we shouldn't do that, let us know. But I'm I'm a huge Simpsons fan. I know a lot of people are too, and I couldn't be more excited to do that next week. This Nintendo episode was special. Brought back a lot of nostalgia, a lot of things, and plus a lot of great ideas that I would love to see for Nintendo to do. I would love to see that Battle Royale. I would love to see an updated Paperboy. Awesome. And like the other games that you mentioned, like the Maniac Mansion. I'm not familiar with Maniac
That would
Mansion.
be cool.
I would like to see Maniac Mansion.
Think of it as like a Clue. Like a Clue game.
Yeah.
It's mystery.
And and why not Netflix? Why not make a Double Dragon show or movie? I mean, why not? Please. Just make it
updated.
happen.
It doesn't have to be dull for those guys are old. We need some new blood.
It could be cheesy. If it's them two, make it as cheesy as possible.
It
would work.
be. It should be. It was from the 80s to make it cheesy still.
We could use a couple of those movies these days. So, guys, make sure you catch us.
We need some
week.
cheese on our pizza, okay?
That's true. And don't trust Dave Portnoy for your review either. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying. The guy has no respect. Okay, he's got only personal preference on pizza, but we'll talk about that another day. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a great day.